Some of you have noticed that my background has been different in a lot of my videos lately, and that is because I have finally made what used to be our schoolroom into my library. But this is actually a temporary library. So this is what it looks like right now. And I'm gonna go through all of the shelves here and give you a little bit of a tour of this temporary library. The reason it is temporary is because I eventually want to get the IKEA shelves that you can add to, so they go all the way to the ceiling and have corner ones and things like that. But I want them in a wood color, kind of like these two shelves or somewhere close to that. And as far as I can tell, they don't sell that color anymore. So I might have to do white. That is my second choice. If I get the white, I will probably paint the parts of the wall that can be seen kind of this color of green, a little bit darker than that, and then have white shelves everywhere. Except for I don't really want to get rid of these, so it'll depend on whether these look good with it or not. And if they bring the wood back, then I want to get that. I would really like to have all medium wood colors instead of what I've had for the last few years now, which is this black and wood combined, but all white is my second choice. Right now, the thought is I'm going to wait until my husband is completely done with our basement before I start trying to change this again. So for now, a lot of the books are just kind of thrown on the shelf in whatever way they fit. And I did my best to make it look nice and to organize it in a way that I like until I can really come in here and make this library what I want it to be. You'll also see right now, and when I show you each shelf individually in a minute, that I have a lot of Funko Pops. I've been collecting them for a lot of years. I've slowed down a little bit on that now, but I do have a lot. And one of my goals is to have a small shelf that will go all the way across on all of the shelves that will just be Funko Pop size, so that I'll just have a row of them rather than having them in front of my books. I'm gonna start over in this corner first. Here I have my reading chair, my little reading table. This has some of my more frequently used markers and pens and highlighters, my book darts, my bookmarks, my water. And down here I have my colored pencils when I need to change those out. This is kind of a jumbly area. It's been kind of squished over, so it's a little bit hectic, but it's okay. I still have some posters from when this was the schoolroom on the wall. This brick wallpaper is also, and the bell, are all from when this was the schoolroom, and those will all eventually change. I have one of my 3 carts still over here in the corner. I think I mentioned that eventually I want this to be the only to be read cart. Then I have my big desk. So this is where I can work on planner stuff. In the drawers, there's washi tape and office supplies, notebooks, things like that. Here I keep track of the books I read every month. I stick them there after I finish putting them in my reading journal. And then I just have some pictures from Prince Edward Island trips. The rest of my pens and markers are up here. Some of my more morning things. Picture of my girls on our first trip to Disney World. On this shelf, I have Bibles and notebooks that I'm currently working with, as well as my YWAM biographies. This owl did not originally have a mustache, but it was placed there a couple of months ago and it stayed there. This is a painting of Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia that my youngest daughter did for me. And then my Bibles and commentaries. And a little bird from Disney. Up on the top shelf is where I keep all of my religious themed books that are nonfiction. And a couple of candles, of course. And my little swan that is kind of a throwback to Germany. And this Ark I got at the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. Over here, I have this bookshelf behind the door. Up on top are some books that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep, and so I just stuck them up there for now. A little globe, our Nancy Drew collection, my vampire collection with Dracula and Van Helsing and Twilight Pops, classic starts and graphic novels and manga. Down here is fairy tale retellings and things kind of in that genre. A couple of copies of the book my husband wrote. And then down here I have more graphic novels and just kind of miscellaneous books. So eventually when I do my library the way I want it, I will be putting things probably by authors and themes. I'll have to figure that out. But right now, a lot of it is just kind of thrown wherever it would fit. I needed to leave this spot empty of bookshelves because of the light switches. So I hung my Narnia drawings there. Have my Susan Branch books there. And this container has all my stickers that I use for my planner and reading journal, things like that in it. And then this little bookshelf has my James Ponti books and the Vanderbeekers books, some more pens. And then I've got some of our classics, and on both of these two shelves. All my Austen books are on the bottom shelf, which is why I have the little Jane Austen Funko Pop and the writing feather that I believe I got at her house. Over here, I have a lot of my Anne of Green Gables paraphernalia. I met Megan Follows a few years ago, so that's a signed picture of her. And then that new copy of Anne of Green Gables I got, a picture of Lucy Montgomery, and I got the doll on Prince Edward Island. And then starting off the shelf, here I have middle grade and YA mystery, and then here, all my Agatha Christie's and other adult mysteries. The hedgehog's just because I think it's cute. This little cherry I got in the Black Forest in Germany. And then I have all these Funko Pops from Indiana Jones. For lack of a better place to put them, I've stuck them there for now. And then this is one of my Lucy Montgomery shelves, the Kindred Spirits magazines, some nonfiction and biographies, her journals, and my pretty copies of Anne of Green Gables. Along with a fox, because foxes always make me think of Prince Edward Island, and a little drawing of a corgi that my daughter did. And then this little lighthouse is from Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia. This lighthouse is made out of Prince Edward Island mud, and I got that on my first trip there. The next shelf down has my Shakespeare and really old book collections and poetry collections, along with a little Walt Disney Pop. And then down here I have my Happy Hollister book, Andrew Peterson books, Jonathan Rogers books, and some classics, kind of a Mod Podge there as well. Next over here, I've got some dystopian books down there, including both series by Suzanne Collins, my little Hunger Games pops. Up above that, I have kind of YA books that tend to be more Christian YA, and then other Christian books. Above that, I have my World War II books. Some of those are World War I or around that time period, but most of them are World War II themed. Little Eiffel Tower I got at the Eiffel Tower. And then my other Lucy Montgomery shelf that has all of my other books from her. And then I have a lot of my Christian fiction on both of those shelves. And some other ones, Elizabeth Goudge and other authors like her. This little boot. My youngest daughter used to be into Shopkins when she was little. When I went on the trip to Europe with my mom, she gave me this little boot to take pictures of it in different places. And ever since then, it has been a companion on our trips. Up here, I have a little Lego set that my husband got me that we haven't put together yet. A picture of he and I when we were engaged, my girls, just random artwork. More Beauty and the Beast things, candles. And here I have some, I guess, YA fantasy. This is kind of going to be an adventure shelf. There's I Married Adventure and Around the World in 80 Days and The Lost World, the Sherlock Holmes books, and the Great Mouse Detective books, which have not been opened yet. Those are actually Doug's books that I bought him, but I will probably read them before he does. This is where I keep the Who Was, What Was, and Totally True Adventure books, plus these children's biographies, and some of my Beauty and the Beast stuff. Got a little Steve Irwin pop. These are just kind of random middle grade books here with some more Beauty and the Beast things. More middle grade here. On the bottom shelf is a lot of nonfiction books. And then this shelf over here has nonfiction and fiction historical books. Here is mostly children's, with some adult, historical fiction or nonfiction books. This shelf is mostly Louisa May Alcott with a few other classics thrown in there. And then here's more middle grade there and up here as well. And then I have some Doctor Who stuff up here. Some framed bookmarks from the Bodleian Library at Oxford. And then coming around to this next wall, in this little strangely shaped window up here, I have 3 stained glass windows that my husband made for me. In our last house, there was glass surrounding the doors that were to the room I used as a library. And he took out the glass panels and put these in there. So when we moved, of course, we took them out. And here I just have them leaning up against the window. So obviously Green Gables, Harry Potter, and Hunger Games over there. This one I have my lion that's supposed to represent Aslan. A little Oxford keychain, my little lantern, a little sign I got at the Bodleian, and then my nicer Narnia set that is like the original ones. And then this first top shelf has my C.S. Lewis books, my old Narnia set, anything that pretty much has to do with C.S. Lewis. things that he read, George MacDonald. The next shelf is mostly Brandon Mull with Chad Morris here at the end. And then down here I have my Tolkien, my Lord of the Rings books, my Lord of the Rings pops, and some more Brandon Mull. Down here is where I have all the Keepers of the Lost Cities books and some Charlie Bones books as I get them at used bookstores. Then we come over to this one. There's the Aragon books, Little Dragon, and some other classics and John Grisham, things like that. So more adult books on that side and some Harry Potter things. And then my Michael Crichton shelf with all of my dinosaur pops. This one I haven't opened yet, but I will open it. I think I'm going to wait until this library is actually done. And then a Harry Potter shelf with a bunch of my pops, and another Harry Potter shelf with my wands. This wand is Harry Potter's wand, and this one is Scorpius from The Cursed Child. Up on top, I have my anniversary edition of Harry Potter, a Lego set that my husband got for me and my daughter put together for me, and some other Harry Potter things up there. That goes over to this shelf that's kind of hidden in the corner. Up on top, I have nonfiction, homeschooling, things like that. All my Good and the Beautiful books. The Fantastic Beasts pops because I don't have anywhere else I want to put them. This shelf has some more retellings and historical fiction and another little Harry Potter thing. And then this Anne and Gilbert that my oldest daughter drew for me. She has this thing she used to do when she was younger where she makes people into ponies, and we've used that throughout the years. She calls them to cutesies. I've always really loved them. I made her do that with all of the presidents of the United States when we were learning about them. And so she made me this Anne and Gilbert. The next shelf has a lot of homeschooling books and study books. And then just kind of more miscellaneous here with some more Harry Potter Lego things. Down here I have the book that I wrote for Abby's class and some of her books that she's written. And then down there, more books that are from my LDS days that I will probably be getting rid of. And then I've got my kind of homeschool desk in here still. Eventually this will probably be in our bedroom. This is where it's going to stay for now. So I've got that little spot there. And then my other two TBR carts are right there between it and my chair. And then I have my reading chair and ottoman here. And we're back where we started.